Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com that tells you all about me. And also, please go to Instagram, where I am there under spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. I'm also on TikTok under Lisa M. Hopp. And I'm on Facebook under the business page Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. It has the blue check mark. That is me. And for those of you who listen every week, thank you so much. I love your comments. Thank you so much for your support. I love when I see you in person and you're letting me know that you're listening. Oh my gosh, it's just such a gift. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate it. I do. I'm just so grateful. So this week's topic is actually inspired by my clients. And the topic is what you see is not by accident. I get clients. Sometimes they're older clients. And most of the time they're actually older clients that feel a lack of safety and security in their lives because of the world. They're worrying. And again, not because of their immediate life, their immediate family life, their immediate experience. It's that feeling of lack of control and security and stability because of what they're witnessing. And what I, of course, first tell them is to really protect themselves against the news and whatever they may be exposed to. And that really everything overall is all right. It's transitioning. It's healing. And yes, it can be concerning at times, but we have a job to protect ourselves, to take care of our well-being. And that, of course, that means our nervous system. To do all we can to keep it calm, to keep it balanced. The sessions I offer include that, restoring the nervous system, balancing the nervous system. And yes, the intuitive coaching session, everything I do complements each other, by the way. But the intuitive coaching session allows you to look in and allows me to look into your energy of your path and to confirm for you that everything's all right overall. So you're not in this alone. We're all oneness. We're all in this together. Yes. And we all feel each other. Every single one of us is an empath. We're just empaths at different levels. I feel the whole world. And when I say that to people, especially my clients, they go, oh my gosh, you feel the whole world. That must be so hard. It's just about protecting myself. It's really like treating myself as a precious china item that I am. Right? That's all it means. But all of us are empaths. All of us feel each other. All of us can really sponge up. I always say observe, but don't absorb. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a break. Knowledge is power, but knowledge should also not hurt you. So very important. So what I also would like to say today with this topic is that, and I explain this to my clients, because they're befuddled, they're gobsmacked, they're confused. Why is the whole not seeing things for as they truly are? Why are people seem to be seeing things that are not based in reality? So I explain. We're all seeing things with this super powerful mind of ours from our own prescription. Our lens has its own prescription. And your mind, your subconscious mind and conscious mind are controlled by your beliefs. and the mind forms in front of you what you expect to see, what's a part of you. It can't give you everything because it would just make your mind go psh, explode a bit. So it filters out who you are and presents that to you. That's why teachers like myself tell you, and teachers like Joe Dispenza and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and any spiritual teacher nowadays, Neville Goddard that was on this earth, and the current ones that are out there. I mean, gosh, there's so many. Greg Braden, Mike Dooley. Everybody will tell you that is about the mind. That if you change your inside self, change your beliefs, then your outside life changes. It's actually science. It's actually science. It is that energy, that quantum energy that is responding to your beliefs and your expectations. So people will say though, but Lisa, I am seeing things on the outside world that I would not at all ask for. It's not a part of me. Sure it is. Sure it is. It may not be obvious to you. You may not say, I want it, but in some way you're a part of it. Maybe it's a fear or an insecurity. And so it's look at it. Awareness. Aware with all caps. Why am I seeing this? I couldn't have created this. Yes, you have. So I have a thing about bears. Not a huge phobia or anything or fear. But I had an aha just this morning about why. I get an extra little alertness about bears. There was a report this morning that bear populations are way up because of conservation. And I was just in Tennessee this year, and we saw bears, and that's common for the area. But I believe I heard they're like up in parts of Colorado, 155%. So I'm about to go to Colorado this year, and bears are on the brain. Right? But here's why bears are on the brain for me, truthfully. Because years ago, I had a very lucid dream. And I was walking along a path in that lucid dream. And my son, who in the dream was younger, almost child, was walking ahead of me. And he disappeared. And there was a family of bears. So that put the fear of bears harming my child in my nervous system. So now I have an extra concern about bears. So what do I have to do with it? Get rid of it. I have to tap it out or hypnosis out. Whatever I need to do, I get rid of it. It's all right to have a healthy respect for bears and to know how to live among them, all right? But the extra concern, the extra perhaps fear, that is not how we're supposed to live. But I got the aha just this morning when that lucid dream happened years ago and was far from my memory. That is what I'm talking about. How we have such a fabric, a DNA within us. And our mind is aware of everything. Every single little thing. And it is projecting out in every second. But projecting out your particular unique story. Now, here's another way that this amazing energy system of ours in our brain works. And you've had probably this happen to you just yesterday as well. When I was thinking about this podcast today, I was thinking about shopping at a store, not talking about it, not searching online. Because that can happen. You search online and then you see ads for the place everywhere. And it's like the next second. It's amazing. I thought about it. And then it was everywhere on my computer. And not only that, it was a commercial on TV too immediately. That's what I'm talking about. My energy field, my mind, showed me myself. You are seeing a part of yourself. You're not being spied on. Because I've had that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when you talk, I've had it happen where I've talked about something and then it's everywhere. It's like, is someone listening? I don't have Siri. I don't have Alexis. But no, it's my mind. It's my mind giving me who I am. That's why we will say to you, spiritual teachers like myself, you attract who you are, not what you affirm with no emotion, not what you wish for, who you are. And that's what you see. So yes, the amazing, miraculous, wonderful, powerful thing is that, yes, you can change who you are, but it takes daily work. There's no, necessary, there can be mystical experiences. That comes from love, by the way. When you feel immense love, you get mystical experiences that bring instantaneous healing. Perhaps you feel you've made a quantum leap and you have instantaneous change. But most of the time, the change that happens is the work, doing the work, meditating, journaling, watching what you're exposed to, and having the awareness. And so I, again, would like to give you this homework. Spend a week noticing your environment, what you are exposed to, what's in front of you. And then the second week, start to go out filtering out what you don't want, changing the filter, changing the formula. And that requires focus, diligence. But it's worth it. It's worth it. So our mind, our being, our nervous system thinks it's serving us. It thinks it is being a very good servant to us. It has no emotion involved. It's just doing its job. And so you get what you would expect. You get what your biases are. They could be confirmed. You will always get evidence to back up what you believe. So, back to, why do people see things the way they see things? And you think, they're not using their intuition. They're not, maybe they're being gaslit. And gaslighting is very powerful, because it does attempt to replace your inner knowledge with somebody else's narrative. If you hear over and over again you're imagining things, or that never happened, well, by the way, that applies here to when you have someone that is kind of not seeing things. They're seeing things in their own prescription. It doesn't do any good to tell them that they are, not aligned with fact, because they really strongly feel they are. So all it does is cause disruptions and fights and just negative ripples. It is best to understand that it is their beliefs, and you keep being you, and see if your beliefs can overflow over to them. Because we don't like feeling that we don't know what's going on when we're pretty sure we know what's going on. And that applies to every single person on earth, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what your perceptions are. So important to keep in mind. So the way to handle this also, by the way, always, is to give love to that person, acceptance. It doesn't mean they're your tribe, all right, your people, but compassion too, and to understand, and in a, not in a condescending way. That I'm not talking about pity. I'm talking about love, acceptance, compassion. Don't bring things up at dinner, especially holiday dinner. And are you there? I'm there. We don't talk about that. We don't, because we know we're in different belief places. And so you can't change another beliefs by simply telling them they're wrong or they're crazy or calling them any name. And, we're all human. But meaning that sometimes when someone, I don't necessarily speak a lot on the internet, but I see comments out there. And when people are calling people names, yeah, your human nature is to want to defend yourself or call them a name back. But no, it's not for the higher energy. It's not for the higher good. It doesn't heal. So keep that in mind. So science is understanding that this brain is a prediction machine. It's actually called predictive processing. And it's one of the largest, biggest discoveries in neuroscience. That the brain doesn't simply record reality like a camera. It constantly predicts what you are about to experience and combines those predictions with incoming sensory information. In other words, perception is partly constructed by the brain based on your prior beliefs and expectations. So we're not simply seeing reality. We are experiencing again the reality through our filter of our expectations. And our brains are constant hardware and software, constantly predicting what we're about to experience. And those predictions influence what we actually perceive. Because we think it's, quote, reality. But it's just our reality, personally. And again, you can change it. And here's just another little, digresses a little bit, but a little example of how a strong demonstration of how our beliefs can produce real measurable biological changes, and to that you have the power here, because you do, by the way. You're in control. You have the power within you because you can change your beliefs, you can change your perceptions. And that strong demonstration is the placebo effect. When people believe in a treatment that will help them, the brain releases its own pain-relieving chemicals. It alters hormones levels. It changes immune responses. It even improves its movement neurological disorders, even when the treatment itself is inactive. And it's very measurable in the brain and body. Because the person's belief alone triggers the changes. The expectation, another Dr. Joe Dispenza teaching, the expectation is what becomes biological. But in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, his, trying to find the word for the people who attend retreats, the people who are using or doing the work, they often will release and just feel love and let it go and let it do what it will. Very, very powerful. But they still believe in it in some level. They let go of the how and they get into, I don't know how it can be or what the future is. So they get out of their own way. So that's, also an element there to keep in mind. There's nothing, and I mean this, and I say this very carefully, but there is really, if our will is to be on this earth, there's nothing that cannot be healed. Everything can be. It doesn't mean that there is something wrong with the person, that it's not being healed. It just means they're not working on their beliefs. That's all it means. They're in the space they're in. And notice this as well, as I told you in the beginning about my clients and explaining to them about how it may be hard to understand, but everyone's looking at the world through their own prescription lens. Two people can witness the same exact event and perceive it completely differently. And haven't you seen this? I've seen this. Where even in big events, people have their own take on it because of who they are. It just influences their interpretation. Our brains filter millions of bits of information every second, and it selects what seems most important based on prior experience and expectation, your inner child, your prior experiences, how you were impacted in life. So you look at a scene and see it from that person, not how it fully may be. Again, beliefs become filters. They don't change every fact about the outside world, but they absolutely influence what you notice, what you remember, and the meaning you give to your experiences. Because facts are still facts. But we may not accept a fact if it doesn't align with our belief system. So science is even catching up and showing us how powerful our brains are. They're not passive observers of reality. Our minds, our brains are active participants in how we experience life. Our beliefs shape our thoughts and our emotions, what we notice, how our bodies respond, and even how we interpret the world around us. And while science doesn't claim our minds literally create the external universe, though I have to say to you, I think science is going to get that. I'm going to say that I think science is going to say, yes, it does. That all of us are living in a hologram of our own making. But for right now, it's just making progress, the scientific community. But our internal world, science will validate that it does shape the reality we experience every day. So, again, if it can validate that we're shaping our reality every day, then yes, it can say literally that we create the external universe. So it's kind of like it's not ready to take that next step, and it's being cautious, perhaps, those in the scientific community. But honestly, I would say to you that spiritually, scientifically, energetically, in every way, that we are creating our lives in every moment. Now, how's God involved in this? Heaven, that highest energy, source, whatever you want to call it, universe. It created us in order to experience this. Free will. The joy. Let's see how far we can take this. And so we have that energy around us and in us to tap into, that higher source energy, but the game of life, letting it play out. But also we, within ourselves, created angels, guides, and all those helpers to help us. So spirituality is very much involved. So I just want to give you just a few names for those of you who are more scientifically based that you can look up. When I talked about predictive processing, that comes from Carl Friston, which is Friston. The placebo research. I did have coffee this morning, people. Dr. Alia Crum, Crum. And also about expectation, placebo as well, neurobiology. Dr. Andrew Huberman, Huberman. I wanted to back you up a little bit that the scientists are getting on board and they're talking more. If you watch videos from Dr. Greg Braden, who's always been very much into spirituality, but also science, the science of spirituality, blending it together, and Dr. Bruce Lipton as well. They love to, team up with their sources, not maybe these particular sources, but others, because we like to prove things and not just have it at just an energetic, spiritual, or religious level. It's why some people will do not really embrace religion, because meaning the practice of religion, or maybe the or God, or maybe you would consider them atheist, or just another form that maybe isn't, accepting all elements of religion. And why? Because it's not proven. It goes over in their minds some fantasy. But everything can prove itself. Everything is really working together. And I remember years ago, probably a couple decades ago almost, my son asked me, he was asking me about creation. And he wanted to know which one was really valid. Was it, natural evolution? Or it was the creation taught by Christianity? And at the time I told him that my beliefs were that both were involved. And he said, "Me too, Mom. I believe that too." And we both smiled. That is our belief system. And we, over the years, have received evidence to support that belief system because of who we are. So what is your belief system? What awareness do you have? What is the prescription of your lens? Have that this week for the next 7 days, that project. And make it light. Don't make it heavy, make it fun. And then see what change you would like to take on to change those belief systems. And yes, I can help you with that. Most of my sessions are not just in person, but can be done through Zoom. Some telephone, but limited telephone, because I like to see the face of the person. And they like to see me. But yes, these are things we're talking about. When I say I want to help you create your ideal life, I'm talking about a life where you feel peace, calm, fulfillment, happiness, love. And what is that like? What does that feel like? And so the first step is to have an awareness of, what are you exposing yourself to? What are your beliefs? And beliefs can always, 100% of the time, be changed. And even if you think, no way would I ask for this around me. What part of you has? Maybe it's your fear. Maybe it's your insecurity about it. That can bring it to you too. It doesn't have to be a quality that you have. For instance, if you see a lot of cheaters around you, what part of you is a cheater? Or have you been cheated on and haven't applied forgiveness? We all deserve, all, A-L-L, deserve, all caps, to have whatever we desire. But we have to be aligned with it. And who you are is aligned with what you're receiving. So if you want to make it the different, greater, then it has to start within. And looking at what that mind and that heart and that nervous system altogether is filtering out to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful of being able to talk to you. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share. If you're listening to this anywhere, Spotify, iHeart, whatever you can do to extend it out, to share it, please do. Please also follow me on my business page on Facebook, Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. And yes, find me on Instagram. I'm doing little shorty videos on TikTok and Instagram. But also, this week I'm going to be doing on YouTube a demonstration of emotional freedom technique to help you to restore your nervous system. And so, it's going to be about safety. So please check me out on YouTube. I would appreciate it so much. And it's there for you. I'm going to be putting some more content on YouTube that's a little bit longer than Instagram or TikTok. So I'm just going to put it on YouTube. So follow, invest in yourself, love yourself, help yourself. Thank you again. Till next time, many blessings.